All right, team, welcome. In this explainer, we're covering something absolutely fundamental to everything we do. Section 1 of our Field Operations SOP, Project Mobilization. How we start a job really sets the stage for the entire project, so getting this right is non-negotiable. So the goal here is pretty simple. We're going to walk through a clear, step-by-step guide of our official procedures. This is all about making sure we're mobilizing our multifamily construction projects the Fairway way, every single time. It's our playbook. Okay, let's dive right into the first procedure, job site startup. This is all about grabbing operational control from the second we arrive on site. And look, this is way more than just throwing up a fence. It's about building the foundation for safety, for compliance, and for a smooth logistical flow from day one. Now, for this to work, the roles have to be crystal clear. The project superintendent, you're the strategic lead, you're overseeing the whole show. The assistant superintendent, you are our boots on the ground, making it all happen in the field. But it's a total team effort, right? The PM is coordinating those key items like utilities, and our subs, they're held accountable from the moment they show up. These first 5 steps are the absolute building blocks of your site. We start with compliance. You got to verify every single permit is posted. Then you lock down the site itself. Only then do we set up our command center, the trailer, and get our temp utilities lined up. And of course, safety is always first. That starts with a hazard assessment and getting our essential safety gear in place. Now for the next 5. This is where we really start to get things rolling. We get everyone on the same page with that subcontractor orientation, and we get the project dialed in correctly in Procore. And notice how much of this is about documentation. We're setting up locations, we're verifying our erosion controls, and this is a big one. We are doing that video pre-con walk to document exactly what the site looked like before we touched it. That walk is non-negotiable. It protects us by giving us a crystal clear before picture. This question comes up a lot, and it highlights a really critical distinction. You absolutely can and should start mobilizing when you get a notice to proceed. Set up the trailer, get your fencing up, but, and this is a big but, no work that's actually governed by that building permit can start until that permit is physically posted and verified on site. Okay, next procedure, pre-construction drawing review. And let's be clear, this isn't about just flipping through a set of plans. This is a proactive hunt. We are actively looking for problems now to prevent those expensive RFIs and delays later on. For this hunt, the superintendent is leading the charge, sniffing out those constructability issues. The assistant superintendent is absolutely vital here. You're the one checking what's on paper against what's actually in the field. And the PM has one of the most important jobs of all, making sure we are all working from the most current IFC drawing set in Procore. No exception. These first 4 steps are all about doing your homework. Step 1, and I can't say this enough, always confirm you have the right drawings. Step 2 is where the magic really happens. You've got to overlay those disciplines in Bluebeam or Procore and find the clashes before they become a nightmare in the field. Then we dig into the red lines and dive deep into that spec book, flagging long lead items and critical specs. And the process doesn't stop there. You have to take those drawings and walk the site to make sure they match reality. Any problems you find feed directly into a formal clash detection meeting, where we start generating RFIs right in Procore. The final step is creating that drawing review log. That log becomes our single source of truth for every issue and its status. So let's nail this point down. An architect's coordination stamp is a great starting point, but it is not a get-out-of-jail-free card. Field conditions can and do vary. The ultimate responsibility for field verification rests with us, the Fairway construction team. You always have to verify. Okay, now let's talk about how we organize the physical space. Section 1.3, Site Logistics Planning. Think of this as being the air traffic controller of your job site. We're strategically laying everything out to create a safe, efficient, and predictable flow for every single person and every piece of material. And again, the roles here are so important. The superintendent owns the plan and keeps it current. The assistant superintendent, you're the enforcer. You're out there every day making sure people are sticking to the plan. This creates a really powerful feedback loop because when subcontractors have to comply, they'll report conflicts and we can adjust the plan as needed. This 6-step process really makes the logistics plan a central hub for the project. We create it,
We get buy-in from our key trades, and we get it into Procore. But it doesn't stop there. We communicate it constantly, and we update it as the project changes. And every single adjustment gets documented. So we have a clear record, and we can ensure critical access, like for fire lanes, is never blocked.
And this right here, this really drives home the main point. The site logistics plan is not a set-it-and-forget-it document you make on day one. It is a living, breathing plan. It needs to be looked at every week for accuracy, and it must be formally updated before every major new phase of construction.
Next up, we're getting into our specialty compliance procedures. First one is Earthcraft Sustainability. Now, if your project is pursuing the certification, this section is your roadmap. It defines exactly how we manage and document everything in the field to make sure we hit our certification targets.
You can see the duties are split pretty clearly. The field team, led by the superintendent, is focused on tracking and documenting progress right there on the ground. The project manager then takes that information and handles all the formal communication and the official submittals with our Earthcraft consultants. Following these 4 steps is absolutely essential if you want a smooth certification process. It all starts with preparation. You gotta know that scorecard inside and out. Then comes the real discipline, weekly photo documentation in Procore with the right tags. This discipline is what makes our pre-inspection walk so effective and ensures we're always ready for the official rater with no surprises. And listen up, because this is critical advice. Do not hide problems. If a trade misses something, the only correct move is immediate and transparent communication with the rater. Tell them what happened, fix it, and then re-walk it with them. This is how you prevent small issues from turning into big delays or extra fees. Let's move on to the final procedure in our mobilization section, and it is a huge one. This covers the specific, and I mean rigorous, documentation required for our projects with low-income housing tax credit. That's LIHTC, and Georgia DCA compliance. Just like with Earthcraft, this is a total team effort. But I want you to pay very close attention to the assistant superintendent's role, maintaining ongoing photo documentation and field forms. This is a highly detailed, non-delegable responsibility, and it's absolutely critical for us to secure those tax credits. The name of the game here is methodical, ongoing documentation. From the get-go, we are photographing very specific items: vapor barriers, fire blocking, product labels, ADA clearances, and we're using standardized photo tags in Procore for all of it. This creates this incredibly organized, verifiable record that we rely on for our internal walks, consultant reviews, and the final submissions. And let's make this crystal clear, because there is zero gray area here. To ensure the highest level of accuracy, consistency, and control over this incredibly important documentation, all LIHTC and DCA required photos must be taken by Fairway construction personnel. Period. End of story. So let's wrap this up with the why. Why do we have all these procedures? A proper project mobilization following this SOP literally sets the foundation for the entire job. It is how we establish control, ensure compliance, and kill risks before they can grow. This methodical approach is what turns an empty piece of dirt into a safe, efficient, well-documented Fairway construction project. And it is the single most critical step toward a successful and profitable turnover.